Yo, welcome everybody. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And everybody else, new and old, if you watch my content or watched it, please like this video. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, thank you, thank you. And yeah. So this is called Arches. It is the second installment. It's after the events of Echo. So if you know what Echo is, um, I really liked it. Um, comment down below your thoughts on Echo. And yeah, let's hop into it. Run. Running was something he was always good at. He was always the fastest in his class. Just last year, he came second in a 200-meter dash at the state track meet. Just 8 months ago, a coach at the University of Pueblo approached him about joining the track and field team after graduation. Just last month, he realized he was the fastest freshman on the team. Oh no, where's this going? Just last week, he started to hang out with older men who could get him into Pueblo's gay bars. Just 2 days ago, one of those men spiked his drink. Just 2 days ago, he woke up in restraints. Just yesterday, he was being tortured. Just 10 minutes ago, he escaped. That's good. But now he's realizing that it doesn't matter. Everywhere he looks is only burning desert. There's no one. His attempts to scream for help matter even less because his voice is broken. He can barely wheeze after what the man did to him. Damn. Well, at least he escaped, right? And now he's empty. Droning sounds are being swallowed up by the desert. All the while, the heavy steps scraping through the gravel behind him keep coming. The man isn't in a hurry at all. Damn, I was kind of hoping he would survive. I guess he's... Running was something he was always good at. But now when it matters most, he can't do it. Damn bars. The fastest D1 freshman at D1 University is no faster than an old druggie. He definitely would have been if he had eaten anything over the past 3 days. If his ribs weren't broken, if he could see straight. The man had given him something. He told him it was for the pain, but the pain is still there, and now he can't even stand. Damn. That's shitty. His balance is shot, and he keeps stumbling until he's just crawling on all fours. Fuck. It's now that he realizes the man had let him get away on purpose. This made him realize something else. He's going to die. Tired from the drug, from the past 3 days of constant fear and torture, and from trying to run, he collapses. He lays there in the dirt, sobbing, even though tears don't come out. He'd run out of all of those after all the things the man did to him. No way they're just gonna kill him like that, right? The light above is blinding. He wonders if this is God. His mother is a devout Catholic, and even though he's never believed, he promises this light that he'll become a believer right here and now if it saves him. The crunching gravel footsteps get closer. I need to go. His voice is still ragged and hoarse. The footsteps come even closer. I have a meat. There's a childish, high-pitched laugh. How'd you even do that? Think I must have hit you one too many times. All you do is talk about your fucking track bullshit now. Bro, someone killed this nigga. Literally. Like, The huge form moves closer. You know that shit don't matter no more, right? His chest aches with overwhelming sadness and despair. And it's not just because he's about to die. It's because his mom won't know what happened to him. And it's because the last text message he saw from her said, "Love you, Bug," with 10 heart kissing emojis. At the time, he'd just roll his eyes and didn't respond. He thought he'd be able to the next day, or the day after. He'd been kidnapped. The man took his phone and set it on the counter. It sat there and buzzed over and over with messages, and his kidnapper only laughed when he asked to at least read them. Now the tears flow just as the man leans over him with something heavy in his paw. He hopes his mom is right about God. He hopes he can see her from the other side. Cheers, we can respond somehow. But there's only. Damn, it starts stuff like that? What the fuck? No way. Cameron holds onto the seat tightly, the coyote's teeth rattling together with every pothole they hit. His boyfriend, Devon, doesn't seem bothered at all. The bear's paws on the wheel and with an elbow hanging out the window. He had been singing loudly to the music through the car's Bluetooth speakers, and it wasn't until cell phone service was lost that Devon finally seemed to notice Cameron's unease. Damn. You alright? You alright, babe? I think it goes a little slower. What? Cameron raises his voice, yelling over the rattling interior. Go slower. Why? This is the kind of terrain that baby was built for. Okay, but Cameron's voice bounces as they hit another deep groove in the destroyed road. We don't know what's around any of these bends. What if it just drops off and we go down a ravine or something? That's what the road balls are for, honey. And I'm pretty sure I'm about to chip a tooth. Oh, come on, you gotta admit there's something nice about finning the road. Cameron doesn't respond and goes on clutching his ass seat. Devon does slow down a bit though, more carefully maneuvering around the most broke up parts of the road. What happened to the road anyway? It's only been, 5 years? Flash floods, according to what I read online. Obviously no one's around to upkeep, so this is what happens. That's his voice now, from now on. Deal with it. Oh yeah, I forgot how this state works. Dry as hell until a wall of watery death comes down the road during monsoon season. Yeah, that's Devon's voice from now on. I'm not gonna change it. The coyote tenses up as the bear makes another smooth but still sun turn. And it's even harder than I remember. How you a coyote, Cameron? This is your climate. You know better than to say that. Just because I'm built for it doesn't mean I have to like it. Yeah, but you hit it in Fort Allen too. It doesn't get ungodly hot there though. I can at least deal with it. Well, the transfer to Bonneville City is looking good, so you won't have to deal with it much longer. Cameron shrugs. Milder weather would be nice, I guess. Devon grins. Nicer weather, nicer scenery, and nicer people. Everyone's a Mormon. Which is why they're nice. And the ones living down here aren't. There's a big difference between the fundamentalists and the normal ones, the ones that baptize dead people and wear Jesus jammies under their clothes. Devon shrugs. Most religions are weird when you break them down like that. I'm just saying, whether it's magic garments or Perry dresses, they come from the same fucked up place. Devon doesn't say anything, and Cameron realizes how bitchy he sounds right now. Sorry, I just worry that how they might look at us. It's harder to gauge people when they're all fake nice. Yeah, that's true, but look. Devon nods his head towards Cameron's window, and the coyote follows his gaze. The rocky, uneven landscape has opened up to wide, expansive blue. That Lake Emma, with me and Echo is. The bear looks ahead, and the first thing that Cameron sees is a tall, rusty sign with letters on the top that he can't quite read from this distance. Below is a small, shabby building, and beyond it are a few smaller, even shabbier buildings. Cameron wasn't sure what he'd feel like when he first saw the town. If the coyote really is what Devon thinks he is, then right now he'd feel all the awful, evil things that supposedly happened here. The small, run-down buildings should be exuding the memories of their past, which then would be projected into his mind. Cameron feels nothing. Of course he kind of knew this would be the case, but he never been to a place that was famously haunted. Not like Echo anyway. He just worries a little bit. He worries just a little bit. Dev asked him in the past to see his amateur paranormal investigations. All because the coyote could see things. He'd never hear Mon Dev, the proper word was hallucinate. The things he saw were manifested by his own mind. There was no reason to give it fuel by going someplace supposedly haunted. Dev got the message pretty quickly and stopped asking. They still talked about all those interests he had though, and Cameron realized there was a lot more to Devon's interest in ghosts than just dumb fun. And even though he'd refused to entertain Devon's psychic bullshit, the bear still took care of him. He'd done so much for the coyote that Cameron was embarrassed to think about it sometimes. So, when Dev got this chance to go to the place he'd always wanted to go the most, Cameron decided he had to go as well. He's doing this for Dev, to show his appreciation for everything that Dev had done for him. Still, Devon had been trying to make this seem more like a vacation of sorts, like Cameron wouldn't be doing any investigations at all. He would need to talk to the bear and let him know that he was willing to do this for real, at least within reason. He also needed to tell him why he didn't like doing this, and that part might be hard. It doesn't look so bad, for a ghost town I mean. Look, it can be deceiving. Hang on, I gotta pull over for a sec. Why? Wanna scout out this lake a bit before dark, and I also gotta take a massive leak. Cameron tries not to sigh, just wanting to get into the town so he can be sure that he doesn't feel anything. To really make sure that there's nothing to be worried about. He isn't worried about ghosts, but rather his own brain and what it might do. The road becomes smoother and newer looking as they pull up to the lake. They were trying to turn this reservoir into a recreational spot right when it all happened. They both get out, Cameron stretching his legs gratefully. That's too bad. It kind of looks nice. But, we're not gonna talk about how they just murked them. Yeah, this place has a long string of bad luck. Bad luck is one way to put it. Hold that thought, I'm gonna pee. Devon waddles away, clearly having held it until he almost couldn't anymore. Like they really started off this game is starting off like I'm fucking with it. Cameron shakes his head, remembering all the stops they passed on the interstate. With a sigh, Cameron leans up against the Jeep, staring out across the lake. Lake. The beautiful lake. Wonder what fish Echo has. Lake Emma. I wonder if anybody's drowned here before. This really isn't that bad at all so far. This really isn't bad at all so far. Sure, they weren't in town yet, but all those dreams he had, all those terrible feelings, they seem silly now. It's just a small, former town with a sad history. If his brain was going to manifest something out of this, that something would just be sad. Cameron knows that his hallucinations aren't real. He's known that since he was a kid, after he first saw a monster in a raincoat in his trailer home. Like the creature in Echo? Are they gonna show it? Eventually? I hope they show it. We're not, I don't think we're nowhere close though, but I hope they show it. That'd be cool. He also knows that ghosts aren't real either, but the Bond believes them, or at least he wants to believe. He wants it so badly, and he thinks Cameron can see them. Cameron knows that there's something extremely wrong that could be a disorder being used like this. Devon is also aware of this, painfully aware. To the point that Cameron was able to tell him days in advance that he was going to ask him about taking him on this trip. And yeah, this is wrong, but the bear doesn't even think Cameron is mentally ill, or at least that's how it comes off to the coyote. Devon doesn't understand how it feels to struggle with reality, to have these problems and never get a proper diagnosis. Cameron just knows that something is wrong, and always has been. That, and Cameron never really told him what it was like, so how could he understand? He told him a little bit, but he's always been worried in the back of his mind that Dev would leave if he told him everything. So Dev took these snippets of insight into Cameron's psyche and somehow interpreted it as him being gifted. Couldn't blame the bear. Sometimes the things he sees do seem to have a deeper meaning, like there's more to it than just mental health. But isn't that just the nature of various mental disorders? Not recognizing the illness for what it is? Deep. It had been over 5 years at this point, and Dev had seen Cameron at his worst, as absolute craziest, and somehow he'd stuck around and still believed the coyote was just a normal guy with some personal issues. Cameron hugged himself a little bit tighter, realizing now that this is the time to really talk about it. And then after this, they can have a fresh start in Bonneville. Is it Bonneville or Bonneville? Phew, I am at least a 3 pounds light after that. You know, while I don't mind taking a piss in the wilderness, I'm not doing any more than just that. Any more than that. Yeah, I was kind of hoping there was be a porta potty or two around here, but it looked like we have to dig some holes. Dev. Whoa, just kidding, babe. We can drive to a rest stop. What's wrong? The coyote pauses, trying to get into the mindset this sure to be uncomfortable conversation is going to require. Just give me a sec. Cameron sees the bear's demeanor change instantly. Okay. But while I'm giving that sec, I'm sorry for teasing you and being all gross. I know that really isn't where you want to be right now, and I was just trying to lighten the mood. And you know, it's because I love you. Aw. Jesus Christ, stop. Devon goes quiet and swallows. The sound it makes almost comical. Gulp. There's a pause, and though Cameron tries to keep a straight face, the tension just seems to break on its own. I would much rather you make a poop joke than act like that. It's so weird. What? Being considerate? Sort of. You are considerate. Just not in that weird, anxious way. Well, sue me for trying to be careful. I just don't want to say anything stupid. Cameron cuts the bear off, not wanting to put this off any longer. Devon just listens for a minute. I know you haven't said it, But let's just get this out in the open. That we both know I'm here for more company. I'm not that stupid. And I just want to say that I don't think this is a good idea because what I have is some kind of problem, not an ability. I know I shouldn't think of it that way, but I researched it and I don't think it lines up with what you have in a mental. Dev cuts him off. Dev cuts himself off. Please don't. I'm sorry. Dev cuts him off this time, trying to hide a wince. I mean, you're right that we don't exactly know what my problem is. I just know it's not good. But what's important is that if it helps you, whether I think it's real or not, you've done a lot for me, and I want to be able to do something for you. Aw. No, I think doesn't matter. What's important is, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be your psychic for the weekend. Well, really? Yes, I'm not spending the whole time role playing like we're having a good, innocent time in that murder town. But I don't want to make you do something you don't. Oh, I want to. Might not like it, but I want to do it. If only for you. Damn. Nope, I made my decisions. I'm gonna do it. But just this once. If you're sure, please don't put me ahead of you. And I did some research on that forum link when you linked me to a few years back. So my sixth sense is primed and ready. That seems to finally snap Dev out of his reluctance and slight annoyance at getting cut off at every sentence. Wait, seriously? There were some people like you on that forum? Did you? Listen, I want you to find your answers. Really do. But I think the worst thing I could do is lie and make you feel better. I'm going to be completely honest in everything. Cameron leans up against the Jeep. Whether or not I see something. Of course, that's what I want. And that's why you shouldn't be getting your hopes up right now. I'm just telling you that I'm gonna try. The bear stares at Cameron for a few seconds, just smiling. But I'm just glad I met you, and that we're together, and that you're here with me. Devon wraps his arms around Cameron, pulling him to the side as he leans up against the Jeep too. But seriously, if you ever feel like, I don't know, you're just not into it, just let me know. Well, as long as you're not expecting anything, I think I'll be alright. Yeah. Devon goes on grinning and Cameron narrows his eyes. Because I'm not getting the feeling that you're expecting a lot. Devon pauses, seeming to think. Well, I'm also happy that you're being more open like this. I always felt like you didn't want to talk about it. Devon also thinks, and Cameron also thinks, I guess I don't want to be told that I see things must mean something. What I see must mean something, you know? Yeah, y'all get pretty old pretty fast. But since we're talking about it now, is it like, does it not? Like, some of the things you mentioned doesn't make sense. Like, the rain call creature. What about your old friend who, got shot in the head? After I hallucinated that someone shot him in the head. Yeah. That one. That's what I'm talking about. You and all of us really like to see meaning in everything. That we have a purpose in life. A reason. Reason, purpose, and the meaning of life means nothing to the universe. Everything just is. Whether it has meaning is up to us. Yes, it's weird that I hallucinated the way he died. He would die, but he was also involved in things that could have led to that. I knew he'd been dealing drugs in a really risky way, so I knew his life was in danger, and I was on fucking ketamine. All the reason is there. Damn. Well, Dev's just around, clearly uncomfortable and trying hard not to look that way. I get that, but there's a lot of other examples I could bring up. Maybe it's coincidence, but at some point you don't have to worry if maybe it's something else. Cameron sighs. Of course I have, but what always worries me is this paranormal stuff you're into, and the afterlife and all that. It reminds me of my mom. Devon doesn't say anything, just waiting and listening. Towards the end, right before I left, she was usually amped up on always something to stay awake for her 3 jobs. Whether it was amphetamines or meth, she barely slept. We had this box fan in our trailer. One day, after she turned it on, she asked me if I could hear something talking from the fan. Cameron had debate on whether or not to give Devon all the details about his mother, but he feels like he needs to say it. If only so that Devon would have some explanation as to why. I said no, but she sat next to it and listened and eventually had this huge epiphany that it was God. And she did that for weeks. And that's almost all she did when she was home, listening to the fan talk to her. I'm not sure what all it is was saying to her. I don't even think I really understood what was going on. I just knew that sometimes STEM addicts did that kind of stuff, especially when they don't sleep, But then she started to look for specific shapes, arches, wink wink, and half circles. The voice told her that she could get into heaven if she passed under the right one. But the voice also told her that the devil would trick her with fake ones to make the real one harder to find. She pointed these out to me. How there are so many, and yeah, they were there. But when you look for these patterns, for something as simple as the shape of an arch, Cameron traces a finger along the arch of the wheel. Well, he's using it. You're gonna find them. Eventually, she told me everything was warped. I guess she was so fucked up that these shapes just popped out at her like her brain was highlighting them and she couldn't ignore them. On the last day, she told me that even I looked like an arch, and that she thought I had been damned to hell. She looked completely done. She told me that she'd be back to save me, and she walked out of the trailer. A few hours later, she drowned trying to swim under a bridge, and everyone in the trailer park kind of saw it as just another delusional druggie getting themselves accidentally killed. Damn. Cameron had told Devon his mom drowned in a river while on drugs, but the details are chilling, and the bear just wraps his arm tied around Devon and Cameron. But I think it was suicide, that she was so tired of her shitty life that she bet on that bridge being the arc that would bring her to heaven, one way or another. That's why I worry about following these patterns, even if it's just something as just looking for UFOs or ghosts. Like, yeah, the meth and the lack of sleep push her over the edge, but is there something genetic there too? My dad had problems too. What if I'm predisposed to it? I thought drugs were making it worse, but haven't used them since the second month after I met you, and I still see shit sometimes. I mean, whatever is going on with me, it's stable, but I wonder if that will last. Devon clears his throat. I would never let that happen to you. I know I say stupid shit about it, but I know it can be dangerous, and I'm always looking out for you. Honestly, it's nice to hear that, because just letting my mom sit next to a fan for 3 hours straight every day, feeding on her delusions, was the dumbest thing I've ever done. But I was high on my own drug of choice because I just didn't care. But the thing is that even though the hell she was in, she cared. I took too much a few times, and even though she wasn't listening to her fan, in her own world, sticking post-it notes to all the shapes she saw, she still noticed right away when my breathing wasn't right. I woke up to her spraying Narcan up my nose. When Cameron sees Devon Tilda said in question. Damn. Mother love right there. W moms. 3 moms. It counteracts opioid overdose. But the thing is, my mom didn't like opioids because they made her nauseous. So that means she got those nasal sprays just for me. Just in case. Even when I thought she was too absorbed in her own world to care. So it hurts to think about that night. How I just let her walk out of our trailer like that. Cameron takes another deep breath. We hadn't planned to talk about that last part, but it just came out. Sorry, I wasn't planning to go into all of that. Dude, do not be sorry. But it's part of why I am the way I am. I know my symptoms don't perfectly match up with what you researched on the internet, but they're close enough. And honestly, maybe you're right. Maybe there's more after we die, and somehow I can help you find it. But if things go south, and if something's wrong with me, pull me back. Seeing the shapes on Arch, remembering all the markers she put on them, is like a reminder of what happened to her and what could happen to me. Wordlessly, Devon pulls Cameron into a hug, and the coyote presses his head against his chest. At that moment, Cameron realizes then why so many people love their therapists. He always worried that Devon would get too weirded out by what happened when he was a teenager. That he would finally see all the skeletons in his closet. Neglectful, neglected, abusive, abused, so hopelessly addicted. Just like his mother. Definition, trailer trash. Cameron was all those things at some point in his life, but he knows that doesn't matter to Devon. Why did I say Devon so fast? Devon. After a while, Devon lets go and they start getting back into the Jeep, the bear feeling slightly shaky. Cameron opening up now had been truly harrowing. Devon had known bits and pieces of his coyote's history, but to hear it like that, how he'd overdose and almost... Devon shudders. Ugh, he's just glad that the coyote is safe with him now, out of that hellhole. As he's about to get on his side of the Jeep, he stares out towards the town just a mile or so away. While Cameron had told him that all made him feel better, Devon was feeling more conflicted than ever. Every time that Cameron just told him, practically screamed that this was a bad idea, that this wasn't good for him. Doesn't matter what he thinks about Cameron's hallucinations. That is skimming of abnormal psychology literature about hallucinations led him to believe Cameron wasn't mentally ill. No. How could he take him to Echo after hearing that? How could he ever track him into this endless hunt for the truth ever again? Yet, at the same time, Cameron's telling him what to do. He wants to do this. Dev looks over the hood at Cameron, tapping his blunt claws against the soft tap of the Jeep. Hey Cam, what do you say we keep going on over? Check out Desert. You know, see what Bonneville might be like. See what the moments are really like. That could be fun. While he says this, there's a crushing feeling in his chest, dreading that Cameron will say yes, but at some time, hoping that he will. I mean, with the way things are going, I don't even know if we'll be able to cross state lines in a few weeks. They're starting to shut everything down, but Cameron stares at him before smirking. Oh no, this is something you've wanted to do for years. I mean, fuck me for dropping all that right before we get there. But you know I'm a procrastinator. I don't want you to feel guilty, but just be aware. And I kind of want to face my fears in a way, you know? I'm ready for this. And before Devon can say anything else, Cameron gets in. Dev looks over the lake, actually not sure what he's about to do. If he was a good boyfriend, he'd drive away from this place. Cameron would yell, curse, and moan about how it took them 10 hours to get there. And Devon would shut him up with one of those sugary abominations from Starbucks. And he would never talk about Echo again. He would listen to Cameron and trust him about how it actually felt to see awful stuff. They'd move, get married, get a big house, and sooner or later, Dev would get his answer, because everyone does in the end. Does at the end. As they pull out of the parking lot, he thinks he's made his decision. But even as he tells himself he's going to turn left, back up the road they came, he turns right. Because just before he did, he sees a flash of pink in his mind's eye floating in the middle of a pond, and it's like something hit him full force in the chest. Ugh. My heart. Before he knows it, Echo is ahead of them. Devon fawns as they pull into the parking lot of the motel, staring at the graffiti-colored walls. Alright, this is where I'm gonna end it. I don't really know how to end videos, so I'm just gonna say, gonna end off quickly. Thank you for watching. If you made it to this, if you literally made it this far, thank you for watching the full video. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if I remember to put it there, but don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, oh, if you want to see part 2, comment, spam part 2 in the comment section. And yeah, see ya. Bye.